Dark Star Malphite. Dude just looks like a black hole. Like, looking at it from a distance, you can't see his face. You can see his face on closer inspection. It's like those rows of teeth on that thing that looks like a mask, but it's actually his face. What a weird skin. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm not even sure if this cast will finish, because I may just leave halfway through and go eat food. But if it does happen to finish on time, actually, also one thing I should do is actually move this chat window up a bit. Looks probably a little bit more space efficient that way. Actually, no, I changed my mind. Let's move it back. I want to move it to a place where like I could click on champion, see their information pop up. Okay, yeah, everything's fine. We'll keep our chat box there. So we're gonna get into this game. It's gonna be Poppy top against Malphite. A matchup that I traditionally heavily favor the Poppy in. Fiddlesticks against Amumu. I'll explain why later. Kled against Lissandra. Caitlyn's Thresh against Ezreal Blitzcrank. So traditionally this matchup is... I love this matchup as a Poppy player. Malphite can't really do anything to kill you. Even if he goes AP, he can't really nuke down a Poppy. And he has severe mana problems early on, whereas Poppy might as well not have a mana bar because her spells cost next to nothing. You can very efficiently trade against the Malphite just because you can get in on him really easily, and your Hammer Shock deals % max health damage, and you can still get it off even if he slows your attack speed. So basically, nothing Malphite can do really bothers a Poppy. The only thing you have to watch out for is that Poppy is one of those tanks that actually fall off as the game goes on. Whereas most traditional tanks gets more and more effective as the game goes on. More reliable CC, easier ways to engage, and just getting enough armor and MR to actually withstand enemies. Poppy gets none of that. Mostly because she lacks a completely reliable engage. And her only form of true engage involves literally throwing her body into the enemy team. She is much more of a appealing tank in the late game, and making Hail Mary engages is a really fast way for you to actually lose. And we're gonna have a trade here in mid lane. Lissandra against the Kled. So Kled in this matchup is actually pretty decent. Well, Lissandra can dismount a Kled pretty easily. And Kled might find it difficult for him to actually remount against range. Kled's best matchups are probably against tanky matchups, just because tanks can't do enough damage to prevent a Kled from remounting. But the other thing about Kled in this matchup is, if you ever catch a Lissandra early on, especially a Lissandra that's running Electrocute, you probably have the damage to nuke her down and actually win trades. It depends on how he plays it, really. Oh, Poppy, get out. She's only level 2. She doesn't have Steadfast Presence, so that means the Amumu just gets in there. Easy first blood for the Malphite. And now Kled has been dismounted, but he's going all in. The Ignite goes down. Oh my god, the damage comes out hard and fast, and Kled drops Lissandra to the ground. It's a solo kill. That's what I mean. Like, you can nuke down Lissandra, but being dismounted is probably his worst nightmare. Although he just actually fights it out against Lissandra. I'm pretty sure she wasn't expecting the damage from Kles W, whose name escapes me. Actually, who even knows the name of Kles W? Violent Tendencies. Yeah, there we go. It does so much damage. Especially on a Conqueror Kled too. And now bot lane, pretty awful lane so far for the red team. Thresh and Caitlyn has range advantage and has catch advantage. And Ezreal early on, until he gets at least one item, doesn't outdamage a Caitlyn. Unless the Caitlyn's just sitting there eating every Mystic Shot like a dummy. Amumu is gonna find the Fiddlesticks here in the river, but here comes the Kled here to help, but the Claw comes over the wall, and now the Kled is surrounded on both sides. Fiddlesticks is gonna stand his ground and drain the Pika, set on fire, and it's very hard to heal when you're on fire, and then blue team takes a favorable trade. Lissandra is the casualty once again. Not too good news for mid lane, because Kled actually survives that fight, but blue team takes 2 kills. Amumu and the Lissandra both die. Favorable trades for blue team, even worse news for the Lissandra. She just doesn't... She just died, respawned, and died again. And all she has to her name is some clothes and 2 rings, which is a pretty poor disposition. And she's now up against a Kled who hasn't actually shopped yet. And now Poppy having a really awful time against the Malphite. These are not trades that you should be losing, but now you're staring into a Bomby Cinder Malphite as a Poppy with boots. And you might suddenly find it really difficult to start winning trades now. Thresh is gonna land a hook onto the Blitzcrank. That looks like a very dead Blitzcrank. He actually flashes onto a Caitlyn trap, and now he's run away. Mana Berry is gonna keep him alive for now. Thresh will flay back, but Thresh does not actually count on the Caitlyn overextending for the Blitzcrank kill, so he just dies to the Ezreal damage. Ezreal flashes forward, gets the red buff for himself. Double kill for the red lane. Oh my god, Poppy teleported back to lane and just died again. Oh no, this lane's over. For top lane, unstoppable force, but now Malphite has to be careful. He's out of mana, he's being drained, and the Reap does land. Slow, a few more autos will do it. One more auto will kill him. Flash forward, shut down onto the Malphite from the Fiddlesticks. But that does not solve the issue of top lane. Namely, this lane is over. Poppy is just lost completely. Which I mean, I started this game talking about how favorable this matchup is for the Poppy, and I just diagnosed this Poppy as bad, as opposed to the matchup being good, the matchup being in Malphite's favor. Malphite's gonna come back with a Ninja Tabai. So Poppy basically has all of Malphite's items except worse. Not upgraded boots and not finished bombies versus finished bombies and boots. They're even sitting on the same number of cookies, 1 each. And sitting in the same corrupting pot. So Poppy is literally just a poorer Malphite at this stage in the game. And Malphite is certainly forcing the issue on the Poppy here. Q does land the cheese wheel. Not gonna find enough slow, but the trade is coming out hard and fast. Poppy just can't win these. It's a Conqueror Malphite too, which I didn't even talk about. Usually you see Comet or maybe Grasp. Conqueror Malphite is a different story entirely. It's not even like the AP build or anything. But the Conqueror Malphite is actually helping him win these trades, because Grasp will lose to Conqueror in the straight up fight. What the heck? The hook gets tanked out by the crab, and Fiddlesticks just goes back to slapping it as if nothing's happened. Smite on the crab, that will heal him back up to full. And Ezreal has to back off here. The pole doesn't actually land onto the Fiddle, which is strange, because I thought it would land for sure. Lantern will bring in the Scarecrow, and the Ignite goes down to the Ezreal. Ezreal has to try to blink away. Reap does land on him, he's taking down from the Ignite, but it seems like he'll be out for now. Enemies are chasing in. Oh, the Flay will certainly secure it. Oh no, the Caitlyn! Ooh, they risked the kill getting away and gave it away to a Caitlyn. That was a very risky maneuver, but it pays off for blue team. And now Caitlyn gets her second kill. Still holding a minute CS lead and now 1 assist lead, so she's actually a tiny bit richer than the Ezreal here. But the Ezreal has finished his tier and pickaxe as well. Here comes the unstoppable force. Can he actually kill the Poppy here? Conqueror gets fully stacked here, but he gets charged into a wall. Cheese wheel, not enough mana to put it out. So he's gonna make it out just fine. But now Amumu coming in from the side. How deep is this chase gonna go? Poppy cannot stop running. She has to keep going. There we go. Poppy makes it out. Caitlyn, Peacemaker, shoving us through Blitzcrank's face. And mid lane, Kled, the bear trap, it does not connect in time. And Lissandra will take her claw to get out. But Lissandra is still quite a bit behind in this lane. She's actually first item the Seekers, which is something you ought to do in this matchup, especially if you're super behind on it. If she had those early kills, she might actually just skip the Arm Guard and just go for the original build of Lost Chapter, but Kled is actually pretty effectively zoning off the Lissandra. The bear trap will land, but no kill converted. Fiddlesticks will D-word, but the Amumu is basically taking away a Herald from underneath his nose. Lissandra has to be careful here. The bear trap once again does not connect. The range on the bear trap is so short, but now the Amumu comes in. He wants to land this kill, charge into the Amumu's face straight up. Curse of the Sand Mummy locks him up, but here comes a Crowstorm to turn it around. Amumu's taking so much damage, he'll drop immediately. The Reap will miss the Lissandra, and now Lissandra just has to quietly walk away from the scene. Red team wanted to kill mid and convert a Herald plate, but That's not gonna happen. And now this blue team, who matches their rotation with every living member left for mid, they're going to lay siege to this tower. And here comes the Thresh. A hook from long range does not connect, but Lissandra is fully zoned off. The reinforcements are being pulled from all other lanes. Blitzcrank's off in the wings, but he's on ward. Poppy notices and tries to collapse immediately. 3 people very clumped up. A juicy ultimate from Malphite. He simply cannot resist. And here comes Lissandra, but she does not have her ultimate. The damage isn't enough. Lissandra will die, but Caitlyn leaves her ghost behind. Poppy gets pulled in by the Malphite, but she will flash forward and grab the lantern and get out. So far, 1 for 1 in this skirmish so far, if you don't count the Kled and the Amumu. Poppy will just run away, and it's an even trade all around. But this red team with the Herald, Amumu seems like he wants to take a bottom lane. And now Fiddlesticks going back to drain. Thresh has to reset because he's half health, which makes this a prime opportunity to take some place here for red team, if they can swing that at all. Poppy has to try to run away. Herald does get dropped on bottom lane. Oh no, she's actually farming. She went for the cannon, but there's no unsolvable force. And now the Herald charge secures it. This is going to be first turret here for red team. The AD carry in particular getting quite a bit of money here. First turret, that's going to swing the lane over to the Ezreal's advantage. Critically, Ezreal was not among those who rotated to mid lane. So Caitlyn's absence has actually made her lose quite a bit of CS when compared to her and compared to the laner on the other side. Here comes the Thresh. He wants this. The Flay does not come out, but here comes the Death Sentence. The Storm Razor slow does land on the Ezreal. He's taking so much damage. Caitlyn flashes forward for one more auto. Ezreal has to match with his own flash. One more hit. It was actually a crit. Takes him down. But red team secures a Herald in the meantime. Caitlyn blows her own flash to try to convert it, and she does get it. So Ezreal unfortunately does die there to the Caitlyn. Blue team loses another turret, and Poppy comes in, valiantly charges into the Malphite's face, but that might not be enough. Just 2 levels on her. He doesn't have the mana. Ground Slam, that will take away the last of his mana. But oh no, Poppy walks out. What is she doing? She can't win this. The shield, she does grab it in time. Malphite is still out of mana. Now he has to desperately slap it out. Conqueror is actually helping him win that fight. Poppy has to realize that she can't win that trade even if he's out of mana. The charge is going to come in from the kite. The bullet doesn't get blocked out. And now blue team cleaning house. Poppy actually solo kills Malphite in the top lane as well. So many kills there coming out. Now the Ezreal has to try to run away as well. Lissandra is going to come in from the wings. Flash from the Thresh. The Q will land, but he will instantly die to the Lissandra damage as well. The bear trap lands, but it does not connect. No pullback. And Ezreal just has to run away. Lissandra running pretty low on mana and health. Can they convert anything here? The Mystic Shot will whiff again. Reap lands onto the Lissandra, slowing her down and silencing her. Kled will have hit his 100 CS mark at 12.5 minutes in, and Lissandra still not even 3/4 of the way there. She's so far behind that she's actually just sitting on the arm guard and then going back to her standard build because she picked up a blasting wand. She's going for what I believe is... Wait, what the hell is she building? What even builds out of that? Ludens? Ludens, but you go for the blasting wand component first? She will finish her Sorcerer's Shoes and grabs another Tome. Okay, so she's actually first iteming a Morelos or a Liandry's. In that case, oh my god, the Peacemaker finds it. Long range kill on the Ezreal. Caitlyn quite far ahead of him now. Once again, that CS deficit has been pulled back. And now Caitlyn doing very well for herself in this game. Fiddlesticks is going to get found out by a Malphite. Unstoppable Force does connect. He's dropping solo. He will be solo killed by the Malphite. Shut down onto him. The bear trap lands onto the blue buff, and blue buff gets angry, so it punches the Kleds in the face. Now the standoff is coming, but here comes the Amumu from the side. Poppy heroic charge will bring the Malphite away, but she will be left in the middle. So many people. Keeper's Verdict sends both of them away. Expert disengage on the fight, and the Amumu leaves his ultimate behind, but can't convert anything here. Red team loses their bot lane turret in retaliation. Caitlyn gets a lot of free money to herself. She hasn't reset in a while, and she's not sitting on any boost so far. So she should look to at least back and finish it. She does back right now and pick up a completed Berserker Green with 1 go and a second item QSS. Oh baby. I don't think anything on red team really warrants a second item QSS. Even if there's a Mordekaiser, you wouldn't go QSS this early. But that's enough of that. There's a fight breaking up in top lane. Amumu re-engages, but he's decently low on health. Poppy throws her shield in his face and kills him off. Killing spree now for this Poppy. And now the Malphite is stranded. 1v4. He doesn't have ultimate. He can't really get out. He lands some damage, but it's not enough. He will be taken down. 2-0 here for the blue team. Just finding favorable trades all around the map. And now the Goon Squad roams their way to mid lane. Thresh is leading the charge with mobility boost. He's sitting on a ward, and he will now notice it. Killing it off. Charge goes down. It will completely whiff, and Kled cannot cancel, so off he goes. He's not coming back. Never mind, he is back. Jousting his way back, killing off the Blitzcrank. Killing spree for the Kled. 4-1-3. Lissandra, she's under a lot of siege. She's under a lot of pressure, and now she just has to try to get out of there. No help is gonna come for a very long time. Ezreal still farming comfortably bot lane, trying to get ahead in the competition. Poppy pinging up the top lane turret. Red team is not going to scurry their way up there. They're going to try to assist the siege. They want that last outer turret stripped down. And here comes the fight. Kled is going to latch, but the lantern is being dropped. Can Kled go back and grab it? No, he gets locked down by the Lissandra. The lantern does not connect, as Thresh has sat on the other side waiting for someone to pull the lantern for a long time. So now the Malphite might be in the position to corner him. Malphite does go on him. Landing some damage, landing some slows. It's gonna be intense. But here comes Yasuo Force onto 2. Crowstorm hits absolutely nobody. Ezreal blinks in. He's trying to do some damage. The Crowstorm is just burning him down. And he just immediately dies. Curse of the Sand Mummy finishes off the Fiddlesticks as well. But now Poppy Heroic Charge comes in. Malphite is dropping super low. He needs to try to get out. Power Fist from the Blitzcrank stalls out some time. Meanwhile on the top side, Thresh is going to be finished off. No, they let him walk away. Oh, that's a blunder. And now Amumu comes down for the Poppy. Poppy Heroic Charge dodging out from the bench toss. Blitzcrank has to try to get out. The Lissandra will finally kill off the Thresh. And now Poppy, last survivor. Hammer shot kills off the Blitzcrank. But that's going to be taking someone down with her. Overall, 5 kills for the red team. But they do leave behind a few bodies here and there. Lost count of how many people actually died in that entire exchange. But overall, extremely favorable for the red team. And now Herald 2 is going to be grabbed out by the Amumu, but now Lissandra has to be careful. Oh, the bear trap still connects onto her. Kled was running forward when he landed it. And now Lissandra might be running out of tricks. She does have the blue buff. The bear trap does not connect. The ignite will not be enough to kill. She will make her way out just fine. Now Amumu finally completes his life goal of killing off the Herald. Fiddlesticks will respawn by starting the Drake, but the Ezreal's on the other side of the pit. He sees it all. The Malphite is also waiting in the wings. Can he do anything here? Dragon's dropping down 4,000, but now there's 4 people from blue team in the pit. Red team has only brought 3. Unstoppable Force, is it there? Blue team secures the dragon. Unstoppable Force will not come out. It just now comes back off cooldown, but Malphite's already dead. And now the Kled charge will lock down the Ezreal. He doesn't make it to a wall in time. He can't blink over. 2 kills for nothing so far, and the blue team secures the dragon. Blitzcrank tries to punch up the Poppy, and he's gonna walk away, but he's not gonna make it out in time. Caitlyn's bringing the damage. Amumu is here as well. Curse of the Sand Mummy not available. Red team picked the fight with no ultimates. Then they're going to drop 4 bodies on top of a Drake. A disastrous turn of events, but a really favorable one for blue team. All that advantage they found in the skirmish just evaporated. And now the push comes down mid lane hard and fast. 3 members of blue team bring the pain. Lissandra's gonna claw in just for wave clear, but it's not a complete job. But there's still so many minions, they're taking so many hits, and the second wave arrives. That's gonna be a very dead tower, but here comes a Hail Mary engage from the Malphite. The rest of red team trickling in one by one. Lissandra passive kicking off. Poppy will be the first victim. She does land in the middle. 2 people. Thrall blows up on 2. Kled does get the remount. He's probably just fine. He's gonna joust his way out. Caitlyn's free hitting off in the side. The long range headshot kills off, and now here comes the Crowstorm veering onto the Blitzcrank, and now Blitzcrank has to land the silence. There's so much damage coming out from the Fiddlesticks, but he will die. Caitlyn's on the side getting soloed out by the Amumu. Malphite's dropping so low, but so is the Kled, and now Thresh is the last survivor. He has to try to flash out. Ezreal's going to try to chase him down. He wants his ace. He's going to try to get it. 1 arcane shift might be enough to finish it, but the Mobi boost comes down. Nope, it's not enough. The ace comes down 1 second before the Poppy respawns. The announcer calls it out, but the Poppy gets to hear it because she's alive. Now mid tower under siege. Red team finds yet another favorable fight off the back of a disastrous throw. It's a very scrappy game so far, and Herald still in possession of red team. Are they going to commit onto it? Doesn't seem like it. Poppy is here to dissuade any further shenanigans. But the 2 hooligans in mid gonna try to punch some holes in the Poppy. She will try to pop out her W and rock away. Steadfast presence keeping her alive. The reap from the Fiddlesticks, and now he's running after him. The slow is quite intense, but here comes the Curse of the Sad Mummy turn. One man Curse of the Sad Mummy, that's enough. Headshot here gets tanked out by the Amumu. Ezreal will be safe. Amumu really needs to drop his Herald. It's about a third left on the time. This game is like an action movie. They're just non-stop fighting all around. Kled eats a cheese wheel to the face. And he's going to get angry. He's turning around for it. A standoff against the Malphite, but Malphite is walking into a very unfavorable position. He sees everybody else and still commits to the fight. Lyssandra's on the other side. She's deciding whether to claw in. She will decide against the unstoppable force used to just run away. Teleport goes down on top lane from the Lysandra. She's trying to exert pressure, but question marks are going down onto her. Wait, that's not, never mind. That's a Malphite teleporting. Ignore me. Lysandra doesn't even have teleport. What am I saying? I glanced at the minimap and saw swirlies around Lysandra's direction and assumed it was her. Fiddlesticks will try to clear out some wards. Finally, the game might settle down after the fiesta that was for the last 10 minutes or so. They just never stopped fighting. And now the wave clear is coming out, but the NARAM is still in full effect, really. So many people trying to pick mid lane as their battleground. Herald does get dropped. It's gonna force another fight here. They're not gonna just let this Herald die, right? Ezreal will go back to grab red buff, but now Herald is not gonna wait. He's already begun his charge. Malphite once again slapping down the Poppy. The Conqueror coming in hard and fast, but here comes the Crow Storm on the other side. So much damage going down. Unstoppable Force is not up, and he gets feared into the tower as well. That's gonna be a very dead Malphite, but that's two people pull top lane, so Herald secures one charge but gets taken out. Overall, a pretty not worth Herald, but they do get themselves a favorable position in the Dragon Pit. Unfortunately, Dragon is not up now. A minute from now, this game could look very different. Blue team is going to shove up the wave. Red team is not currently contesting. They're waiting in the wings, but for what? A Fiddlesticks effigy scares the crap out of the red team. That's enough to push them off the Drake Pit, and now blue team, having pushed out the wave, walks in to set up. Lysandra is going to reset. Dragon's up in 25. She's not going to make it back here in time. I'm going to be very careful here. Kled gets scanned out. The effigy gets detected. Amumu will try to bandage shots in and whiff, but here comes a Reap. Two-man flee into the charge. The team fight has broken out. Lysandra still in the base, but three-man Curse of the Sad Mummy followed up by a two-man Unstoppable Force. The front line melts to all the CC, and now Caitlyn is being jumped on by a big scary rock. She has to try to kite away, but the cheese wheel slows her down. The box will try to dissuade the Malphite, but Malphite, she's still wanting to go. He tries to kill off the ward. That's going to be a 3-for-0 here for red team. And now Malphite runs into a Poppy that charges him into the corner of the wall. That's gotta hurt. Now he's just gonna walk away, spamming the Mastery emote on his way out. The red team will try to pick up Dragon in the meantime and lay siege to the middle tower. There's only 2 members of blue team left alive. Poppy is just one of them, and she gets fully locked down by the Lysandra. Power Fist expertly stacking on top of the CC. A perfect layering kills off the Poppy as well. Fiddlesticks just now respawns. Does he have the damage? Can he actually do anything here? Red team makes the call to turn towards the Baron Nashor pit. They will try to start the Baron, or at least bait out the Baron. It seems like they're getting antsy. They already jumped on the Caitlyn, walks over a red word. Unstoppable Force is not up, but is very close to being up. 9 seconds remaining until it comes back up. Malphite standing in the banana boat, or I guess the armpit brush, the new brush introduced in season 2020. And here comes the team fight. There's so much damage. They're coughing up for the AoE. Unstoppable Force comes in, but the team fight is already lost. Ezreal is the last carry survivor, but the Caitlyn headshot follows him through the flash, ferrying him to the afterlife essentially. And here comes the Malphite. He's being snared up by the bear trap. That's going to be a perfect ace from blue team. Red team's Baron goes haywire, and now it is blue team to challenge the Baron Nashor instead. And this game once again just gets turned back on its head. Baron Nashor brought all of red team so low that it was just a perfect cleanup from red team. What really can you say in this situation? Caitlyn is so strong, even after detouring for the second item QSS, which I'm not even sure she ever used it this game. She does finish her IE now, so now she's just missing a crap ton of attack speed. Blue team secures the Baron Nashor, and the Thresh Hook lands onto the Blitzcrank. He wants more. He goes over the wall, and he's flaying it back and popping the blast plant. He'll get himself out just to be a little bit cheeky. Blitzcrank not gonna find anything in this situation. Now she just has to get out. That's actually a very big slow zone coming out from Malphite's Iceborne Gauntlet, just because he's doing nothing but stack armor. He doesn't have a single MR item, which means that, you know, Fiddlesticks can do a crap ton of damage to him. Oh, but here comes the Fiddlesticks. He is here to challenge the full armor stack. Fiddlesticks are caught out going for the red buff, and Ezreal will take it away instead. Question mark pings goes down on his corpse from blue team, because really, what was he doing there? Unstoppable Force is committed. He does have quite a bit of CDR. Like, it's not a slow cooldown at all. It'll be up pretty soon, just in 50 seconds from now. Thresh lanterns up the brush, finds a pink and kills it off. There's no Unstoppable Force, but it's almost halfway cooled down now. Kled gets punched up here in the jungle. He will get grabbed back. Oh, his life bar is disappearing really quick. Scarl runs away, and Kled will die soon after. Lissandra coming in, Claw coming in. She's hard committing. QSS instantly brings the Caitlyn away. Lissandra flashes forward, but she flashes into the wall of the box and gets fully slowed down. Caitlyn ultimate gets put on cooldown because a bullet has left the chamber. But Lissandra zions it away. No pain whatsoever. Poppy on the side. She has to be careful here. She's definitely not a good engage for a tank, but here comes the Fiddlesticks on the side. Malphite just gonna get melted with the total lack of MR, and now Fiddlesticks tries to swing this fight around. The siege is getting turned around, but it's ironic that this red team putting on the pressure when blue team is the one wearing Baron Nashor. How often do I get to see a team with Baron is the team that's desperately defending when they weren't that behind to begin with? Such a strange scenario that we see ourselves in. And Poppy is here. She wants to make the charge onto Ezreal. Can she get it? Blitzcrank has to try to walk away. They can't find anything here, but Thresh wants blood. He's trying to catch out the Ezreal, but the Ezreal's already on his way out. No kills so far. Ocean Drake up in 45. This is sole point for red team. I didn't even mention that. But they have secured 3 dragons, but the Blitzcrank gets hooked up, and he's trying to flash away. But here comes the Malphite's 3-man, but the AD carry is so far away. He commits a True Shot Barrage, but that's the only thing he can contribute. The Mamumu over the wall, Bandit Shots will whiff, but the red team is so scattered, not even in the same place. So blue team finds a lucky pick onto the Blitzcrank. Lissandra, realizing something is wrong, just now recalls to base. Amumu is going to get caught out here in the jungle. He's sitting in the middle of 3 people, so that's going to be a Chrysalis Amami onto 3. And here comes the AD carry to contribute the damage. Where's Lissandra? She's just now making her way in. Claw in, but the front line is already dead. There's no Malphite, but Fiddlesticks also dropped. So far, a very even trade, 2 for 2. And here comes the Lissandra. She's slowly walking her way in. She has no Claw, she has no Flash, but she has everything else in her kit. The Amumu will get chained down as well. The remount from the Kled. Lissandra self-falls in the middle of everybody. Ezreal takes so much damage from a headshot as well. The Thrall will chase down the Caitlyn. Lissandra's going for the burst punch. Can she get it? No, she cannot. The Ring of Frost does not come down, and Caitlyn finishes it off. 5 for 4 overall. Caitlyn's the lone survivor, but the Blitzcrank has respawned. The fight's taken so long. He wants it. Caitlyn's gonna recall in the brush. He doesn't know where she is, so he'll just let her leave, and Caitlyn will go back. She hasn't picked up attack speed items yet, other than the Storm Razor, and well, the attack speed item is a little bit of a stretch. She hasn't picked up a Zeo item yet, I should say. She's gonna go back, holding Lord Dominic's regards. She gets the rapid fire, and now she's just one Mercurial Scimitar away from full build. Blitzcrank trying to solo down the Drake, but that's a tall ask. He's gonna trip an effigy too, maybe. Nope, he will not trip the effigy. Here comes the Poppy. Blue team looks like it can beat red team to the punch here to this dragon, but this is Ocean Soul. This is red team's win condition. They can't just let it go. Delaying 5 more minutes might be disastrous. You might not even have 5 more minutes left in this game. What is their call here? Amumu, he wants it. He's committing for it. They're not just gonna let it go. Caitlyn shooting the dragon. Caitlyn's not shooting the carries. The front line gets sent back by the keeper's verdict, but the hook lands onto the Caitlyn. Caitlyn has to be very careful. True Shot Barrage does not hit her, and the headshot damage brings down the Ezreal. But here comes the Unstoppable Force. The tank has re-engaged, but there's so much damage here left. It's just the front line. They can't kill anything. Triple kill for the Fiddlesticks. A 2 for 5 perfect ace for the blue team, and they will stave off the Ocean Soul for 5 more minutes. Fiddlesticks coming up huge. Triple kill, burning down all of red team. And unfortunately, Ezreal's True Shot Barrage completely misses the Caitlyn, and after blinking in to find damage, she loses that trade and gets shot down. Caitlyn will die, but that's hardly the problem when you just ace the enemies and you've taken the dragon for yourself. And now red team might be in a little bit of trouble here. Kled shreds this tower alive. It's just a Blitzcrank. He might not care too much for him. The Bear Trap dissuades him, and Kled will just walk his way out. The respawn timers are coming in now, but the next fight has already been determined. Baron Nashor is spawning. Baron Nashor is up. Kled will go for the fast reset, and he's going to try to book his way back into the pit. Now red team, they have to leave the comfort of their home. If they lose inhibitors, they might never get the chance again. Nashor is the call for all 10 players on the map, except Caitlyn, who's helping herself to red buff so far. The silence goes down on the Malphite. He really wants to make an engage. He really wants to force something. Unstoppable Force over the wall. He's engaging onto the Fiddlesticks, but does he have the damage? The Kled is trying to follow up, but here comes the Poppy. He's being pincered. 1v3. He's not going to live for that much longer. Ezreal will try to blink in to find some damage as well. Caitlyn's not in this fight yet, but she's very close to arriving. Zion's Hourglass buys him some time. Here comes the Caitlyn. The bullets are coming out from the south side, but the rest of the blue team has already died. It's just the Caitlyn left. Can she be locked down? The QSS is not enough. A Mumu Bandage Toss finds it and locks her down for the kill. Ace for the red team. It is their turn to make it 2 for 5 engage. This is a very exciting game so far, and now red team rewards themselves with Baron Nashor. Lissandra is gonna solo push down mid lane, but can she find some heavy damage? It's just 2 people on Baron. It's a very slow burn, but nobody on blue team is alive to contest this. Ezreal does a crap ton of damage. Both carries are so fed. This game really comes down to which carry joins the fight faster, and you can see when Caitlyn joins the fight last, the rest of her team melts like butter. Both carry players approaching full build. Caitlyn is still a bit far away from Mercurial Scimitar. Ezreal has just now picked up Executioner's Calling. He wants to make Mortal Reminder as his last item. Caitlyn is so close to the Mercurial Scimitar, just a few hundred gold and she's got it. But now it's red team. They're the ones holding Baron Nashor. They're the ones with the stake on the push. Malphite go for a reset? No, he will cancel it. Blue team is rotating bot lane. They want to catch out the Malphite, but on the river, they might not have their chance. Here comes the Fiddlestick. He'll make the first move. Silence goes down on the Malphite. Will he be forced to auto away? No, he will not. He's actually so tanky. Oh, he'll do it anyway, just to get out. But he's bought enough time. He strikes 3 people bottom lane. He doesn't have Unstoppable Force, but the rest of blue team is being pushed in at mid lane. Admittedly, red team, I don't think they have a lot of vision here, actually. Let's look at the red team's vision. It's hard for them to make this push. This is their only deep ward. So instead of pushing, they'll just opt for a reset. They have Baron for about 2 more minutes, so there's really no rush. The Caitlyn shoots a minion instead of the Ezreal, and after netting in as well, takes a Mystic Shot to the face. It's going to be a pretty significant chunk, but they just have to make 1 catch onto either ADC. And the game seems to be over from there. Kled's not so much as effective as he was in the early game. Lissandra has the lockdown, but Caitlyn has the QSS. But does she have enough QSSing power to get away from the Amumu? Here comes the Crow Storm on the other side. The engage is going to be started off. Amumu is burning down. Crystal the Sand Mommy. Fiddlesticks is the first victim here. Lissandra does not get her passive. She was not inside proximity, but now the Kled dives onto the back line. He has to get out almost immediately. Caitlyn's free hitting in the back, but she's not doing so much damage. A dive comes in hard and fast from the Malphite, and now the Caitlyn being jumped on by the Ezreal. Ezreal's so deep into the fight, but it's not gonna be a problem whatsoever. Triple kill for the Ezreal. They find the ace. They find the team fight in their favor, and with the death timer so long, this is gonna be certainly the end of the game. Malphite has other ideas. He's pushing bot, but it seems like this is a very easy ends through mid. Fiddle will respawn, but he will not have Crowstorm with him when he does. Red team going to go for 2 inhibitors as opposed to ending. Or they might try to get both. Food for thought. Here comes the Fiddle. Is he himself enough? No, it's not. He gets grabbed back by the Blitzcrank and killed off. Poppy comes in. Hail Mary charge onto the Amumu, but that's not enough. Unstoppable force. Caitlyn's gonna respawn, but these respawn timers so long. They're not gonna make it back. They're not gonna be effective. And this very exciting banger of a game ends in Red Team's victory.